Stars, believe it or not, Kate Middleton refuses to be a fashion influencer. Not no more. That may not stop her royal fans from loving her style. If you love a coat dress, a lot of buttons, something super tight on top, super long and flowy at the bottom, and sometimes blowing up in the wind, the princess says she wants us to focus on her work, not her wardrobe. Is this the Meghan effect in action? But Kate's devotees may always be fascinated by her outfit choices because where's the work? Is the work in the room with us right now? According to the Telegraph, there are some winds of change blowing in Kensington Palace. And there are so many ways that Catherine has quietly influenced the way millions dress. Oh, if you've been influenced by Kate Middleton in the way you dress, please put a 1 in the comments section and post that photo, post that video, because I want to see. I want to see the plaid coat dresses. I want to see the super tight on top, super long and flowy on the bottom dresses. I want to see the culottes. There are so many ways Catherine has quietly influenced the way millions dress. More importantly, her frequent appearances, allegedly, at William's suggestion, especially in the early days of her marriage, in high street clothes, were instrumental in making the younger generation of royals seem more down to earth and in touch with the rest of the country. Only last week she wore a checked outfit from Zara. Fast fashion. Why waste that collateral by not revealing it? Admittedly, the Kate sleuths will discover for themselves where it came from, thanks to Google. But why not be more upfront? I would have to agree. The clothing on her back has been one of the most important things, if not the only important thing for years, that Kate has ever done in her royal tenure or at all. The statement from Kensington Palace that the princess would like the public to focus on her rare and non-existent charitable works, like going to food banks with no food, rather than her clothing. It feels like a slog. Try hard, attempted feminist working mother vibe after years of being the antithesis of feminism in many's minds. Yes, stay-at-home mother with a staff of 100. Too busy with the school run twice a day to hop on a Zoom call or do any work to raise funds or materials for the dozens of royal patronages that have lain to waste in the wake of Queen Elizabeth's demise. The clothing is important and one of the most influential aspects of Kate, right? The patriarchy loves a silent clothes horse. No opinions, no controversy, no advocacy for stewardesses like her mother, small business owners who've gone under like her father and her brother. No sense of history and where she came from. Kate never visits the old neighborhood. Not the first one, not the second one, right? She don't hang out with Uncle Gary. To my eyes, Kate doesn't even have friends. She doesn't shop with anyone. She doesn't hang with anyone. It's her mom, it's Pippa, or she is invisible. Is it medical care or is it extended vacation? If we look at the 14 years of the Wales marriage, where is the work? Because the photo evidence gives us clothing after outfit, after purse, after shoe, after Altuzara, after Meghan came on the scene. But where is the work? Where is the impact? What she wears boosts many British and international brands, right? A parallel to the Meghan effect. Meghan wholeheartedly invests in, supports, and promotes and sells out different clothing and accessory brands. Kate, on the other hand, has hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of luxury clothing that she wears. It's unclear what her impact is on the sales, right? It certainly makes her seem very posh and very kept. But a number of brands that Kate has worn have in fact gone out of business. I think it's a mistake to go this route, seemingly on the back of one or two positive and agreeable reviews of her early years childhood foundation. Nobody on the planet would dispute that the first 5 years of a child's life are vastly important. Groundbreaking it is not. The clothes, fortunately and unfortunately, were at times groundbreaking and even huge for the economy. Were they? I think that, appearing on the cover of Vogue 9 years ago is a nice thing. But luxury brands and luxury buyers are kind of what they are. I don't really see that Kate has driven fashion cycles. Please point to me where the coat dress has changed the game, where the long skirts flying up in India and different trips abroad, where that's changed the game. It certainly hasn't seemed to influence Kate or anyone else to put on a slip like their mothers and grandmothers wore to prevent such middle bum mishaps, as it were. I know people will argue that it is because Kate has been granted permission to give her royal assent to certain brands, and that will even things out. I disagree to an extent. The openness of this one thing has been the one relatable-ish thing about Kate and those who handle her, and handle indeed. She's done few engagements and finally sat down to read the positive impact of her early childhood focus. Suspicious, which no doubt must feel great for someone so privileged and work shy. But do we need to make such changes based on a very short, small stride? I don't know about that. It probably had more to do with focus group research. There's a very active part of the press relations and marketing world that meets with the average person and tests their opinion about social issues and people like a Kate Middleton, right? Who takes a lot of public money and does very little in return. And the appetite for the royals as an entire project, a very expensive one, has shifted since the death of Queen Elizabeth, right? It's a short conversation when we talk about Kate Middleton's work. It is strange that Kate has been begging to be on the cover of Vogue. If fashion is not the focus, why would you want to be on the cover of Vogue? You don't want to be on the cover of the Chronicle of Philanthropy? Vogue, Town and Country, Tatler, all these sort of glam, rich lady magazines, nothing to do with actual giving, actual hard, earnest, boring, unphotographed work, right? If you take away the fashion from Kate Middleton, what have you got? A scholarship student to posh private schools who has never raised or given money to help other working class kids get scholarships to go to the same institutions. Doesn't even acknowledge it, neither her nor Pippa. You have got a woman with commoner roots who does not engage in any conversation about social classes and mobility in the UK or the Commonwealth. Never. The amnesia is real. The fashion is all we had. Kate is someone employed to carry out a role, but who decided that she'd rather be a stay-at-home mom or a stay-on-vacation mom. Take your pick. We ain't seen her most of 2024 and most of every year that she has been married to Prince William. Let's face it, she is a clothes horse. This is something that she's been somewhat good at if you edit the photos, if you pick and choose what photos to pick and promote as fashionable Kate. But if you look in the archives at what all she's been wearing over time, I would say a good 3/4 of it is straight dress barn. You don't want it. It goes untouched at the thrift. Wow. And that, to me, is the influence of her mother, Carol Middleton's middling taste, as opposed to stylists and other people that cost a cute coin to the royal purse to engage, right? Just like the hairdressers, just like the makeup artists. Note how cleverly the hair is being done to obscure the left side of Kate's face, where some say there is some new scar arcing from her temple into her eye socket. When you look at the unretouched photos, you might form an opinion about whether or not you think that's real. If Kate Middleton doesn't step up, and soon, this focus on her work will make her fade from the public consciousness. She will be forgotten, right? Just like this feeling that we get that Kate and William aren't together most days or at night in whatever royal housing they have in their collection. And a big collection it is. It is odd that they arrive at events like the Christmas concert separately and stand as far apart in photos often as they possibly can. We know the drill. We've dated and been in relationships and marriages with men. We know how it goes, right? You try to front for the camera and for the family event, the public event, but then you, like boxers, retire to your separate corners. I know people will argue that this is because Kate has been granted permission to give her royal assent to certain brands. This statement in this article is false. Neither William nor Kate have been given permission by the King, Charles, to grant royal warrants. The reporting around this is 100% their press relations officers, those weasels in Kensington Palace, Lee Thompson, and the interns, Colin, Ewan, Ian, begging for this permission, but they've not gotten their wish, right? It's a fishing expedition. All those BS little gold imprints, we see it at the Marshalls, the TJ Maxx, and the Home Goods all the time. These dusty biscuits have the imprint of the HRH of the moment. And they are the most flavorless, and, you eat them, or like the different black teas emblazoned with the faces of Prince Harry and Princess Meghan, or Queen Elizabeth, or the Waleses, or, God help us all, Princess Anne. It's kind of BS. It's like, I don't know, it's like the ADA putting their little logo on a toothpaste. So what? It doesn't mean it's good. It really doesn't mean it's good. It just means that they didn't win anything. They weren't chosen. It means they paid somebody for that imprint. And suckers that we Americans are, sometimes we get caught up. Especially if there's a red tag or a yellow tag at Marshall's. You know what that means. Or at Ross, it's the lowest possible price. Why not? I want to see how the royals be snacking. And it's disappointing across the board. All this, don't talk about my fashion nonsense is just so nobody asks questions about why she wore that pricey new Chanel handbag to a Holocaust memorial event. And it's not even the first time Kensington Palace has pulled this stunt of announcing they won't give details on Kate's clothes. They said the same thing back in 2022, only to keep giving details about her clothes, right? They're playing with the lights. They're trying to draw attention to what? Kate's clothing collection and the very large amount of money that gets spent on it. Maybe less money than before. One theory is that Kate Middleton has been cut off from spending, and they don't want the papers to comment on how often she be re-wearing the same clothes. It's been pointed out that she wore the same Zara dress 4 times. Poor Kate, right? The Waleses get £20 million per year from the Duchy of Cornwall, right? So maybe Kate and William don't need to bow and scrape to Charles, but you'd be a fool if you thought that Kate Middleton had equal access to that money as her husband, Prince William, right? If you're a pick-me for the patriarchy, you're going to have to earn every cent that you get. And is the price of playing on that field, whatever happened, December 28th, 2023, that landed Kate at hospital, allegedly, in surgery, allegedly, and then off the scene for 9 months out of the year of 2024. Is that the price? Are you just hanging on by those Band-Aid covered fingers to a marriage that is past its expiration point? Some would say yes. If William doesn't have to ask Charles for money anymore, that doesn't mean that William, as the heir to the throne, can dictate his conditions and lifestyle, right? He is still bound to the whim of the monarch, right? We've seen William try to comment on Middle East conflict and get smacked down like a school child grabbing for jelly and toast out of turn at the royal table. We have seen William on the cover of LGBT magazine Attitude and visit a LGBT-friendly pub in Poland, and then somehow his privileges to travel and represent the crown got yanked, right? 2023, he and Kate were supposed to travel to Italy on some sort of official trip, and that evaporated in the hot British sun like the morning dew. Does the sun get hot in Great Britain? I've never been. At the Holocaust Memorial event, Kate had that new 5,000-pound Chanel bag, and she had a new bag at the cancer photo op event too. So does that mean she's still spending, or is she borrowing, or is she getting the services of a stylist whose job it is to buy and return, borrow and return, to make it look like there's more purse than there actually is? Maybe the palaces don't want to officially comment on why Kate needs such pricey new goods when she has always and continues to hardly work. This is not controversial. But sadly, like in 2022, the palaces and the toxic British media will soon realize that there is nothing else to write about if they don't write about Kate's clothing. Right? They're not allowed to talk about her hair, the hair extensions, the wigs, the wiglets, not allowed, right? Then it gets sanctioned and prevented by the palace, unlike the continued racist bullying of Princess Meghan and her devoted spouse, Prince Harry, right? They censor certain kinds of stories that would damage the brand of Kate Middleton, but they let it ride when it comes to Prince Harry and Meghan Markle. Tie them up to the whipping post, focus all of the demeaning, humiliating, embarrassing, and outright attacking stories on them, not on Prince Andrew, not on the largely disappeared Prince and Princess Michael of Kent, not on Sophie and her husband on the take around the world, off their association with the royal family, not on Kate Middleton's brother, who continues to shake down his connection to the royal family with all of his BS books and dog biscuits and World War II worshipping party goods and stationery and bankruptcy after bankruptcy after bankruptcy. All right, let's not even talk about Camilla the Stallion, aka La Usurpadora, and her unaccomplished children, right? Their family endeavor, as the Parker Bowles is, and I'm going to include William in the Parker Bowles' family, is to absolutely ish on the memory of Princess Diana and tear down Princess Meghan, Prince Harry, and anyone who would compete with Kensington and Buckingham Palace for royal props and attention, right? Everything they gonna do besides work for the people who pay the taxes that support the whole endeavor, right? I understand that Camilla Parker Bowles, La Usurpadora, has shaken down King Charles for jobs and pensions and other financial perks for her thug children. And they still won't have Prince Archie and Princess Lilibet at Sandringham for Christmas. Everybody and anybody in the mix, but the actual blood royals. That is the magic and the manipulation of Camilla the Stallion, aka La Usurpadora. We've seen Kensington Palace, Kate and William, stop doing their monthly rewinds because there was nothing much to show. And whatever they posted just showed how little they work at all, right? You can't work when you're in Portugal for weeks at a time at Hugh Grosvenor's hunting lodge. You can't work when you're on vacation or at the spa, or my great suspicion is that all of these bot farm endeavors, these entire pages and apps that are overtaken with attacks on Princess Meghan and Prince Harry are perhaps the real work of the Queen Consort or Queen Consort to be, and maybe both of them together, because it is uncensored and unhinged to the point where if you try to comment common sense over there, I'm talking about you, Quora. I'm talking about you, certain royal pages, certain X/Twitter accounts. You will be banned. You will be blocked. They don't want to hear reason. They don't want to hear sense. But somebody is spending a lot of time and money to keep those engines going. And whether Kate Middleton has a clothing and accessory budget that has been slashed is up to you, dear star, to determine. But it isn't impacting her ability to work for the people of the British Commonwealth. We're not going to see any change there. We're just going to see more of these BS articles coming from Kensington Palace or from the Middleton family, aka Team Rocket. And we're not going to get anything of substance from Kate Middleton the way that we are seeing substance and contracts and work and businesses and product promotion and fashion promotion from Princess Meghan Markle. Argue with me if you want, but I'd love to know what you think, stars.